I'm just recording now, so just start and we'll just take it from there.
So Seth, do you find it difficult to have a cafe where pretty much everything you serve is organic, and which is a very high wholesale price as well for you?
I'm going to look there or there?
It'd be better if you looked, well, you could look back and forth, but you can look towards the camera or just slightly to the left or to the right of it.
Can you then, Michael, just go over there?
Oh yeah, Michael, that's a good idea.
To me,
yeah, here we go.
And then start again?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
yep.
good. Testing. So Seth, do you find it difficult to have a cafe of this type where pretty much almost everything you sell is organic, which is a very high wholesale cost to you?
Well, I feel like it's the only way we could really do it because we believe in clean food. We believe in food that really matters to the body, food that the body recognizes, food that's not hurting anybody. But in terms of the business side of it, it's extremely difficult because we're paying more than the average cafe, more than the average vendor, and because we're buying organic goods, and they do cost more, but it's only so high you can charge before somebody says, well, organic, you can only go so far. We have to be somewhat competitive with the guy down the block who's selling a veggie burger or some kind of smoothie, even though ours is better, even though I believe ours tastes better. Certainly the ingredients are better, but you can only charge so much. So from that perspective, yeah, selling the public on food that matters, food that's clean, has been a challenge, and creating a margin so we could sustain ourselves has been a challenge. Loud enough?
Yes.
Have you ever had a first-time client come in here and get either turned off or almost insulted by the fact that you're vegan?
We have had people who have come in here and noticed that there's no animal food whatsoever, and their belief system says that there's no real food here. This is rabbit food, and yeah, some of them have turned around and gone elsewhere for real food. On the other hand, more often than not, we've then offered them a sample of something, a soup or some other food, and they've been surprised, whoa, it's not half bad. And a good number of those have ordered a meal and been thrilled. And for some of them, it's been a real eye-opening experience. They discovered that you don't have to have anything get on your plate in order to have a satisfying meal, in order to fill up. Athletes come in here, climbers, bikers, and they walk out energized instead of tired, and they're really thrilled and amused to find that they've had a vegetarian meal that really was satisfying.
It's interesting you mentioned bikers and climbers. I've had a lot of people say you can't be a competitive athlete if you're not getting enough protein on a meat-centered diet. How do you answer that?
We've got loads of athletes, competitive athletes, triathletes, Ironmen and women who come in here all the time, many of which are vegetarian. The majority of our patrons are not vegetarian. I'd say 95% are not, but they're thrilled that they have a vegetarian meal here and that it's really satisfying. They're not sacrificing one bit. There's not one bit of deprivation. They're not just doing it because, oh man, all right, I'll take the green stuff. No, it's really, really good, and and they're very happy with that. And some of them are. It might be, a step on their road to becoming a vegetarian, which would be our hopes, but we're just happy that they're here now, having a meal where nobody got hurt. In terms of the people who say that you can't really grow muscle, repair muscle, it's not the right kind of protein, you can't really sustain a long workout, I just let them know it's not necessarily so. Try it out, and you don't really hear that very much. People will try to sell us on whey protein or the dairy products that they're really into at the time or something like that. But I'll say that the people, many of the guests who say that they need meat in their diet, but have tried something here, gotten good service, gotten love here, gotten good food here, come back. Many of the people who come in and say that this is just too expensive. All right, it's organic, but how much can you really charge? They come back. Happened just the other day, somebody that we thought that was shocked with sticker shock, and we're really not more expensive than the places in town. We do keep it sort of at a competitive rate with other places in town, but This person just ordered like they were at McDonald's, you know, ordering like kids' meals and 59-cent French fries, and they kept ordering and ordering and ordering because we're very casual here, as you'll see from pictures of the place. But it's real food. It's made by real chefs, and it costs more than the average place in town. So this one person had some sort of sticker shock when she finally realized what she had ordered, and we just explained it to her, and she's been back every day since, every day. Because there's value in every bite that she's having. We're not just charging as much as we can. We're not a trendy place in the city. We're doing the best we can to give them good food, and it costs us, so it's going to cost them, and they're worth it. That's what we keep reminding people, you're worth it.
I guess one of the reasons you serve organic is to not have pesticides on the food, and to be sure that it's not genetically modified. Why do you feel that especially genetically modified food is a problem? There's been a lot of different debates on this subject.
Well, yeah, just the fact that the debate exists that genetically modified food compromises the integrity and the nutritive value and the absorption of the food is enough for us to question it. The fact that the reason that we get organic also is because there's no controversy there. There's pesticides and herbicides and fungicides, and side means kill, and all this stuff that's designed to kill. Yes, very, very small life forms, but bit by bit, day by day, bite by bite, over a lifetime, we're living now in a time when there are more diseases with more names and more manifestations than at any time in history. And it's no coincidence. Yes, there's air pollution. Yes, there's other pollution, and there's more stress than maybe there used to be in the average work day. But I think that there's a definite correlation between what's been going into our food and what's been happening to our bodies. And for those reasons, we want to have for ourselves and for our kids, and we want to offer a better choice. You get a burger up the hill, a veggie burger up the hill, you can get one here. That's real food. That's no poison. And it's very important. It's very important to us. I've had a lot of disease in my family and in my life, in my circles. And I'm convinced that a good deal of it has had to do with their habits, and not only obvious habits like smoking or stressing, but also in eating without much thought.
When you go about your daily life, you probably are too busy to think about all the different things in the environment. But is there a particular environmental issue that sometimes reaches the headlines that really bothers you, and do you have any solutions or that you might put out there for it?
Right now,
Maybe we should start over on that one.
over cold. Right now, I'm a little bit nauseous about the nuclear reactor that's on fire in Japan, or the nuclear reactors, and what that means, and them hinting at there might be some danger, and we know that it's a major crisis happening. I've lived through Chernobyl and have seen the results of all of that, and so yeah, the unsafe proximity, the dangerous proximity of these reactors to major populations or any populations is horrendous. There's no foolproofing it. There's no making sure that it's safe. Safe, clean, money saving is what it comes down to, but it's people have been deformed and rendered sterile and died as a result of what happened in Chernobyl, and we're probably going to see it again now in Japan. It sucks.
And would you say that it's something that we should be looking into more solar, wind power, these things that you're interested in? Yeah, solar power, wind power, definitely. I mean, clean. I know that there are many considerations in doing it and totally replacing nuclear power, but I think that it's just a matter of time, and so why don't we get busy with it? And unfortunately, it's disasters like this that get people on the side of reason, but that's where we're at right now. Yeah, I was in Europe about 15 years ago, and I saw some of the first windmill farm off the coast of Copenhagen, and it was just fascinating and beautiful. And it's amazing that we don't have them everywhere. Wind,
It's happening everywhere. There's a shore and in lots of places inland. It's like, what are we thinking? It's there. When we harness it, it's happening more and more, but it's going to be slow.
As a long-time customer, I was surprised just recently to learn that you do some composting here, which most cafes and restaurants don't do at all. I know there's a lot of local farms here. How do you go about working with some of the people to actually compost your waste?
Well, we did a good deal of it at home when we were gardening. We've gotten too busy this year to garden, and so then last year to garden, so I've stopped composting at home. But I've got volunteers from a few of the. You want to wait until that?
Yeah.
Stops?
Why don't we answer that one again? Yeah. I was noticing it, so it might be.
It's gonna take a few more minutes. How's it going so far?
It's looking great so far. Yeah, thank God for yoga, and I'm able to keep my arms relatively stable. That's all while I'm here.
Stop it and make sure it's worked? Or?
Yeah, no. Everything was working before. No, we'll just kind of keep going, because then, yeah, it's fine. And I can actually.
So I'll answer the composting questions.
Yeah, the compost.
Can you do like a complete back bend and maintain that?
Can I do? No. Actually, I'm a little too wimpy about it. I can do the back bend from the floor, but I can't just go right there. That would make it interesting.
So
here we go.
yeah, we have volunteers from several of the local farms, an herb farm and a couple other farms, who come in intermittently and they pick up the compost, which is fantastic. It's organic, it's the organic remains of kale and other things that we just don't want to serve anymore. And juice pulp, which is already pulverized, and really easy to mineralize the ground. And yeah, I love it. I love it that it's not going in garbage, where it's going to end up as compost anyway, but I'm really glad that it's going right back into the ground to grow us more organic food. There were 3 years, you should know that there were the first 3 years that there was only one person who ever took us up on our offer of compost. One person at their home. But since then, there's been a few, and I'm amazed. I mean, I even put up a flyer. I did something on Craigslist, and I put up a flyer down at the gardens, at the public gardens here in New Paltz by the river. Nobody. And now the word's out, and there's a couple of people sort of in rotation that do it, and we're happy to do it with them. Bring a big bucket in, we'll fill it, they'll bring it home, every couple of days.
Does that go on for a while? Or?
That's going to be about 15 seconds or so.
Oh, is that all? Right, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing about composting, because it's something, in the lecture, I didn't get the focus on it. It's a pretty big deal to me. I don't know, and, since you'll be answering the question, do you know that, I wanted to kind of lead you into it, do you know that there's that you can compost so many things besides food scraps? So if you want to mention, just like for instance, like you can compost paper, toilet paper rolls, egg shells. Well, you might not want to mention that here, but you can compost almost all paper products. Like so, you can basically say that.
Do you want to compost bleached paper products, white
bleach?
Paper products?
Well,
yeah, any white paper has been bleached, so like
it's better than It's much better environmentally than putting it in a landfill. Honestly, it really is. It's going to break down. The amount of bleach on it is so minimal compared to the amount of space and methane that's going to be produced by it going in a landfill. Yeah, that's what I found. But if you don't feel comfortable saying it, if you want to,
say it.
Yeah,
You pay me.
just yeah. There's just so much.
Wait, no. I pay him every month.
It's a very unfair relationship.
I know, really.
I mean, and even more so the fact that you might, if you don't mind saying, 1/3 of the stuff that goes in landfills is compostable. It's insane. It's a lot of garbage.
So, because most of that is paper packaging.
Yeah, paper packaging and food. Yeah, and it doesn't just actually compost in the landfill. It just sits there for years and years in plastic. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's ask the question and then answer the question.
The question is that. Sorry, Laura.
That's okay.
It's interesting that a lot of people don't even realize how much of their garbage that they're actually, the garbage that they're putting into a landfill is actually compostable, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. People are so freaking stupid. What people don't realize that, a good deal of what the packaging from.
I know, I'm losing too much.
Hey man. Yeah, so more than just food products, the foodstuffs are compostable. Paper, cardboard, And fully 1/3, I've heard recently that 1/3 of that which goes into a landfill is compostable. We just have to know what they are, know how to, and to know to include them in our compost. Sounds smart, though.
Yeah.
How about, how does this place that you work at and that you own influence your songwriting? Anything at all?
That's a really interesting question.
Have you written a song about kale yet?
No.
No?
I don't know, Mike. Yeah, I don't know. From talking to me, that it's been more of a push and pull or a struggle between the two. I've had them at odds and not knowing how to really balance them. And I don't know that
Right.
that's influenced.
Battery's done.
Yeah.
It's small. But you know what? We got 15 solid minutes of really good stuff. So did you have other questions? Because I thought everything you had to say, it looked great.
I have my camera as well if you want.
They know often
wanted
these
to do a
smaller
few more. I have a very similar. Yeah.